Well, before all the fog this morning, we had the thunderstorms of yesterday and so much moisture in the air, which is why we have the fog. That's also the reason why we had all of the rain. It was a chain reaction of storms. In fact, we'll go over it the last 24 hours on the radar. Putting it into play, you'll notice that even in the late morning hours, we were already starting to get some development. This is about 10:30 yesterday morning, and you can see not much, but there's definitely some activity going on. That was due to all of the surface moisture. But then once the daytime heating got going, it was not just individual showers and storms like what you see here. It was more getting into the clusters with a lot of lightning, torrential rain, and some strong wind gusts. So chain reaction, meaning that one cluster of storms basically drove the next. This one right here sent out an outflow boundary that went south and west, and what it did was kick off this line right here. Kind of representing a little bit of an eerie smile. You can see the heavy rain, but in a little bit of a bow pattern. A lot of lightning around the Frankfort, Southern Scott area. This is when the storm went severe. You probably got a notification on your phone, especially if you had the free Storm Tracker weather app. You got a push notification notifying you that this storm was very strong as far as wind gusts are concerned. Now, this storm kicked off another chain reaction with this cluster right here. Basically, they met right in the middle, and that's where Frankfort got hit with a ton of rain. In fact, they were talking about how I-64 East flooded right around the Kentucky River because of all of that rain that was coming in, all of that runoff from the higher terrain. That's the flash flood. We have several warnings in Franklin County, but also wind damage reports. In Southern Scott, at least 5 large trees were brought down, and that brought some power outages as well. So it was a very serious day yesterday as far as storms are concerned. It's still very serious this morning with the fog. Now, this is a little bit easier to tell where we are. This is Lexington Center downtown, but not all of the area looks like this. You're talking about dense fog. I'm very surprised that the National Weather Service has not extended this dense fog advisory further south. Right now, the only county in our forecast region is Robertson, but it's also Bracken, Mason, Lewis are all included until 9 a.m. But this is because of the Wilmington, Ohio office. Louisville and Jackson have not put a dense fog advisory into effect, but that does not mean that there is not dense fog out there. Look at this. Lexington down to a few feet. Richmond matching that. Williamsburg had problems yesterday. They have it again today. Same with Moorhead. So it doesn't matter where you are, there is going to be some fog hanging around. Now, it's patchy. It's going to come, it's going to go. It's going to get better, and then it's going to get worse. And it's going to do that until the temperatures warm up enough to lift that fog and break it apart. On the radar, nothing to track as far as big picture. A little bit more going on. Our front is finally sagging south far enough to where we're going to be free of most shower thunderstorm activity. Not to say that we don't have a chance. There's definitely a chance for a few pop-ups later on today, but that high pressure out in the plains is moving closer to, and as it does, it's really going to make our forecast be a little bit better the next few days. So this is what we're dealing with today. Maybe a few isolated showers, possible thunderstorms in the southeast. There is a little bit of a complex diving south. I think it doesn't really make it to us or over the Ohio River. So really just an increase in clouds by the afternoon, the building cumulus. That's really about it. As far as the next 8 days, though, we have a nice stretch of good weather with lowered rain chances both Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures will start to go up from the lack of clouds, or really more so the daytime heating. And then the next chance for active weather moves in by the end of the work week. More news after the break.